Hey, what is up everyone? Kilryan here, bringing you another video, and this time what I'm going to be showcasing or talking about is the Warlock and its skills that it has. Through this video I'm going to be showcasing in slow motion several Warlock abilities, the key Warlock abilities that you have to be looking out for in both PvP and even PvE, so you have an idea of what your Warlock is doing in your group. At the end I'm also going to be having a match with my KFM versus a plat level Warlock. I don't think either of us are super good, but you know, hopefully you can learn something from it. So let's get right on into the showcase. Blech. This is going to be the first skill which I'm going to showcase. This is the immobilize, or the chains that the Warlock uses, which this is their main primary way of setting up for a high damage combo onto you. So anytime you see these chains, this ring pop around you and you are rooted, typically you want to SS out of this. However, you have to be very careful because if you SS, it will actually reroute you. Next in line is going to be the classic Twin Dragon skill. This is the high damage burst skill that Warlocks have. You'll see them cast that X above them and then point up into the air and launch Twin Dragons at you. You can also have instantaneous ones, which you have to be very careful about, because then this is whenever they're setting up for high burst onto you. Here is a showcase of the Warlock using his instantaneous Twin Dragon skill. To do this, he has to channel a specific skill, which it's a little ring around me, so he roots me here, channels the ring, and then you'll notice how the dragons actually instantaneously pop around him, and then he can actually move. Then they will launch several seconds later. You have to be very careful and time this to avoid it for high burst damage. The next ability we're going to be talking about here is Wingstorm. This is a chain castable ability from the Warlock on their V skill, which allows them to instantaneously cast a little bit more burst. It sends out wave after wave, and if it crits, they can also use their F skill for higher burst, as you see here. During this time, usually they'll be having their instantaneous dragon while also killing you, weaving their right click as well as their Wingstorm hits. So you really have to watch out whenever they get you rooted and start using all these skills. Here we're actually going to see a Warlock using all of those skills that we had previously seen to showcase kind of what kind of damage can come out from a Warlock. This is by no means the optimal DPS combination or anything like that, but it does give you an idea of the Warlock's burst and what ends up happening when they get all their skills off. Now moving into more of the utility that a Warlock has. This right here is going to be a showcase of the knockdown skill that they have. Warlocks heavily rely on their knockdowns as well as their chains to end up actually dealing a lot of their damage, or really any of the CC that they have available. It's a very quick strike that just instantaneously knocks down with a small amount of damage. Warlocks also have a counter skill, much like KFMs have and things like that, which what this does is it'll block a single attack and allow them to proc F. Here I run up to the Warlock as he uses his counter skill, I punch into him, as you can see it's a block, and then he can push me all the way back. This also reduces my movement speed. This ability is what I like to refer to as talismans. Much like a Lin Blade Dancer, when the swords are spinning around them, they will have these white burning talismans around them, which they can spec into actually giving them 5 seconds of immunity or 5 hits. You have to be very careful not to waste any of your key skills whenever you hit into that. Here's the Sanctum skill. This allows them to be immune to knockdown, immune to daze effects if they spec it as, and I believe immune to stun if they spec it properly. You need to be careful. It is a 45-second cooldown, but this basically makes them immune to CC. So really be on the lookout for whenever a Warlock uses this, and keep in mind before you go for CC combos. Next up is one of the classic features that the Warlock class offers. That is the Thrall, the Dark Exodia, or the Susanoo for all you Naruto fans. Anyways, so what this Thrall does is it constantly attacks you at range. It can be sent onto you using Q from the Warlock, which will chain then cast a pulsing void pull onto you. However, other than that, the pet will basically just constantly attack you. The Warlock also gets an ability to swap places with their pet, much like the Summoner. To give the pet more mobility, the Warlock can also use the E skill, which will summon the pet to the player and actually deal damage in that area as well. You really have to keep track of when they use these skills, because otherwise you might have the pet jump on top of you and start void sucking you in at the wrong time. Another notable feature about the pet is it cannot be CC'd. So, in other words, you cannot come in and use your daze effect on it. You cannot use a stun onto it. It's going to be doing what it wants when it wants to. So, for the most part, you do need to just work around the pet and focus more on the Warlock. Another key component that the Warlock's pet has is they can spec it in to do something called the clock, or what I like to call the clock. Whenever you see the clock spawn around the pet, you really have to be careful because it actually resets all of the Warlock's abilities. They'll use this in conjunction with a lot of their burst and allow them to root you again after you use your SS to escape. Really, really be careful whenever you use your SS or your SS is down and you see the clock ability. Do anything to CC the Warlock at this point, otherwise you will get chain comboed and get fucked. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the skill showcase of the Warlocks, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to showcase one of my first matches against a Warlock, and I do a little bit of commentary with it on my KFM. I may have missed a couple of skills, and I apologize for the bad commentary that's in this PvP showcase, but hopefully y'all learned something. Don't forget to like the video, and yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, I'm actually going to be fighting up against a plat level Warlock at the moment. This is my first time actually fighting a Warlock, realistically, but I just wanted to kind of showcase to y'all what it may be like a little bit. I'm specing my Ice Guard because they rely heavily on bursting after immobilizes, and so we're just going to engage right here. Gonna SS. Actually, that was a really bad idea for me to SS. Right click on the grip. He has his immunity up. You see those burning talismans? We're gonna fucking SS here. I'm gonna freeze. Gonna leap into the air. Actually, this is really, really bad. He has his immunities up right now. I'm gonna tab. SS. Left click onto him. Right click. His pet should be down here soon. God damn. So many fucking grabs. I don't know exactly what his tab looks like, so we're gonna force that out here. That was his tab. So it's just a standard backstep. Right clicking. I can get a stun here. Now we can 3RF. Oh my god, I'm actually so bad at this game. Okay. That was actually horrible in terms of 3RF. He used his normal 1 to get up. Ooh. Trying to get his avoids. Alright, with it being rooted around me right now, I'm gonna SS. Gonna gap close with the right click, or with my C. Get a stun. He has a... Alright, so there's a swap skill just like you found against summoners. This is me honestly being really, really bad. But that was decent. I should have killed him way sooner. Like, way, way, way sooner. I think KFMs actually have a really, really distinct advantage over Warlocks, to be completely honest. Yeah, I'm still going to go with Ice Guard. I feel like once I learn to fight the class a little bit more effectively, I think fighting Spirit will be worthwhile. I just wanted to attack this on at the end of the video, just because I finished learning or seeing all the skills. Oh, that was actually a good grip. So he can spec his counter into a grip. SSing. Alright, y'all see those little... Whoa, you can spec that into... Alright. We're actually completely out of almost everything. We have to be very careful here. Queuing around the pet. You cannot CC the pet. So right here, I'm just going to CC or double CC. He used his tab right there. So now we can actually... Alright, he did a swap. I can actually hop him here. Whoa, whoa, I thought that... Okay, well, I thought that that was over, but I was apparently very wrong. I actually have quite a bit of avoidance. I'm going to tab here just to stop him from his burst. E-ing, because he used his dragons. The biggest thing that you have to do is really watch whenever he has his dragons up like that. Okay, he used his tab there. That was his back roll. I don't have anything to really avoid here. I'm actually going to use my C here. While his pet is up, he has an additional escape, which can be very problematic. Gonna E out. I shouldn't have SS'd and tabbed there. E-ing around to the Warlock. Gonna hop onto the Warlock, get a knock up. I'm gonna drop him here and then go for a stun. Alright. Not bad, not bad. There we go. I still think I have a lot to learn. I think my 3RF and things like that was really sloppy, but hopefully that shows a little bit better of an idea of how a KFM can fight them. It's a lot of just managing your cooldowns and just staying out of a lot of their grips and things like that. Thank you.